sorry. Would you just say hello to Bowery? Paul Feinbaum.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Tim. I'll give you a chance to say hello to your wife. Shut your dog up. We are coming right back.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your Rocket City Trash Pandas are back right before Independence Day for a 3-game homestand July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The homestand concludes with a special Independence Eve celebration featuring a 6:05 p.m. start time and post-game fireworks show. Get your tickets for the homestand now by visiting TrashPandasBaseball.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
This is Steve Moulton for Tellini's Italiano. Tellini's Italiano is located right in front of the Walmart, right off of University, behind the McDonald's. More or less catty corner from Topgolf. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and if you go there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to try the baked spaghetti, add a meatball. Also try the baked ziti with meat sauce, add sausage. You'll thank me. Save room for some pizzas and paninis as well. And don't forget about dessert as well. The best cheesecake I have had here in North Alabama is at Tellini's Italiano. Find out for yourself today. That's Tellini's Italiano, right off of University Drive in front of the Walmart. Located online at Tellinis.com. That's TELLINIS.com. Let's get some Tellini's tonight.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
I'm here with our good friend, John Kendall. He's got 23 years of retail mortgage experience in the Tennessee Valley, and he's powered up with the #1 retail mortgage lender in the nation.
That's right, Scott. We have joined with Cross Country Mortgage, and that is true. We're the #1 retail mortgage lender in America. And with that powerhouse team and our experience here locally, we're ready to go.
They've got 120 mortgage, refinance, and home equity solutions to fit every need. If you call on Cross Country Mortgage, it is for the win.
That's right. You can reach me, Scott, at 256-562-3780, or you can go to crosscountrymortgage.com and then search my name.
It's Cross Country Mortgage and John Kendall, a powerhouse team. One more time, John.
That's crosscountrymortgage.com, 256-562-3780. If we can't close your loan, it simply cannot be closed.
Equal housing opportunity company in MLS number 3029.
Listen to the Rocket City Trash Pandas all season long.
Left center field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. Huntsville first. He's on his way to second. It's the first ever cycle in Trash Pandas history.
Trash Panda Baseball is only on Talk Radio WZZN. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll, and I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Back here on campus at Woody Anderson Ford. And I'm telling you, there is a sharp-looking truck right in front of us where there is a bed in the back because it's a truck. I told you it's a truck. But there's also a trunk in the front of this truck.
It's got a big frunk? Battery. Yes.
Yeah.
It's got a frunk?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a frunk.
A frunk? Has to be a light. Right.
It is called an F-150 Flash. So it's
a nice truck.
It's pretty sharp. I'm telling you, pretty sharp. Although I will tell you, if you're watching on WZZN TV, which quite a few of you have subscribed, and we appreciate that. Now is the time to kind of make sure you are subscribing to us over on WZZN TV. You're up close and personal with that T-Bird, which is right around the corner from where we're at. And you also see the Ramblin' Wreck there in the background, as well as a Pianer right there in between them. So that's over on WZZN TV. But, of course, if you're driving, there you go. That's what is on WZZN TV right now. And boy, that is pretty there with that T-Bird.
I've always liked that Model A over there.
It's yeah. And that is actually behind the Ramblin' Wreck. You can kind of see, especially the top of it.
Well, you got the Model T truck, and then the Ramblin' Wreck is a Model A.
Okay.
And you got the beautiful Thunderbird right here, front stage.
Front and center. Well, I got a very apologetic phone call last night.
Yes.
And the Sausage King of Chicago is scheduled to join us at 5:30, and we'll see whether or not Abe Froman can make his way into the drive here on this Tuesday. We'll dive into a little bit of that conversation. Plenty to get into here today. And there is Steve Spurrier had a thing or two to say on Arch Manning in Texas. You know what? Right out of the gate, here is what the old ball coach had to say yesterday with Pat Dooley, who's a good friend of the program as well, longtime Florida reporter who's now retired, much like the head ball coach is as well. But here's what head ball coach has to say on Hook'em.
I think most people are picking Texas to win the SEC football.
Most
correct?
people are. I think that is going to be the consensus preseason pick.
They've got Arch Manning already winning the Heisman too. Yep. And my question is, if he was this good, how come they let Quinn Ewers play all the time last year? If
even though he was hurt off.
Yeah.
And he's still
and he was a 7th round pick.
Yes, exactly.
And Arch is going,
and now they're saying Arch is going to be the first pick. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point.
Well, you only have to ask the coach, Sark. How come you played that one instead of this one? Hopefully he'll say, because we thought he was better in that one.
Yeah.
Isn't that why you played one guy and not the other? Unless it's a discipline, and there was no discipline.
You were never hesitant about pulling guys.
One guy,
putting the guy,
one guy struggling, give the other guy a chance.
That is an understatement, Pat.
He had 2 starters every year he was there.
That was a revolving door.
I know it, right?
I mean, it was by series. I remember back in the day, you would hear play-by-play guys go, well, is he going to pull him? Is he going to pull him after that throw? Is he going to pull him after that play?
Well, the only time Danny Wolfel, he never pulled.
No, he did not. And for good reason.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. Never might be but not a lot. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But even when he won the national championship, Tebow's first one, they alternated, right? Well, that was that one.
No, that was Urban. That was Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. Chris Leak and Tebow rotated that first year. But yeah, anyway, something to kind of gnaw on right there. But another question that was posed by I would love to get Joel Klatt on the program, but tell me whether or not you think this is a fair point. This podcast dropped earlier today. Joel Klatt, who broadcasts quite a few. Of course, he's part of the A group there with Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt on Fox. They do a lot of the Big Ten games. I imagine they're doing the Texas-Ohio State game right out of the gate. But this was a breakdown of big games that will impact the college football playoffs in week 1. And he broke down LSU and Clemson. Tell me whether or not you think Joel has a point here.
Clemson is really good. They've also got experience at the quarterback position with the guy that I had as my number 1 quarterback going into the season, Cade Klubnik. I think that you look at this matchup, you've got a really good defense for Clemson. You've got a quality offense for LSU. You're going to have the home game effect for Clemson. And then you get into the conference kind of aspect of this matchup, which I love. Maybe not, I'll just say like less so for Texas and Ohio State because we just know those conferences are going to be great. We know those teams are going to be great. But in this respect, when you get this SEC ACC battle early in the year, in particular with a team that I think we all, including myself, expect Clemson to win the ACC, if LSU beats Clemson in Clemson week 1 and Clemson goes on to win the ACC, let's say even in a dominant fashion, well, now the SEC is going to be sitting there like, hey, that conference should only get 1 participant, obviously. And we should get all the rest of them. That's why these non-conference games become so important, is because of the lobbying that'll inevitably take place as we finish up the season. I got to be honest too. And listen, I understand that I have a certain reputation, but I think that this reputation is just based on facts. Right now, the SEC desperately needs a giant non-conference win.
Desperately.
Like Michigan last year or Clemson getting blown out last year?
Desperately.
Did that matter? No. So there you go.
Here's a little bit more.
Now, you might say like, no, we don't desperately need it, but
I don't know about desperately there, Joel.
You look at what's going on, okay?
Let's look.
Last year, Texas lost to Ohio State in the national semifinal. Georgia lost to Notre Dame in the playoff.
Yeah.
Tennessee got their doors absolutely blown off their hinges at Ohio State. You had Michigan beating Alabama in a bowl game with a lot of their players not playing in that game. And Jalen Milroe was in that game. That hasn't been the case for Clemson because they were 0-3 against the SEC last year. So they need a win against that conference, but the SEC also needs a marquee win against anybody else. And this is clearly, at least in my estimation, going to be a top 5 or 6 team in the preseason in Clemson. So this would be a big one for the SEC because what we saw late last year is that they're starting to lose their grip on this, mantra that everyone can just pound the table and say like, oh, they're the best conference. Well, that didn't actually play out the last couple of years, at least not on the field, not in terms of the national champion and not in some of these marquee games and in particular playoff games when everything was on the line. So implications in that respect in terms of conference supremacy and in particular the playoff moving forward.
Joel Klatt from earlier today.
I can't say that just sounded like BS. That's what it was. That's what happens when your guy talks too long.
just for the record, I did look it up. The Southeastern Conference, where did I put it? The SEC was 4-6 against the Big Ten last year. 4-6. And it's true. I mean, the Big Ten has won the last 2 national champions.
No doubt, but they're not like the SEC starving for a win. Last year, they did exactly what he said. It didn't matter at the end.
The SEC was 63-16 overall in non-conference games. The Big Ten was 53-16. That's with more teams.
Right.
But they do play more conference games. That's why that people might be looking at a little cockeyed and go, how does that work out? And of course, the Big Ten does have that extra.
Well, the Southeastern Conference didn't have a good bowl season next year.
No.
No doubt about that.
No.
And Texas should have beat Ohio State, in my opinion. The 2 things that happened is, one is I thought the officiating was very poor. Ohio State could not block Texas. And I thought the way the end of the game was handled was really bad by Texas, by the coaching staff. They had the ball to 1. You got to score. I mean,
LSU lost to USC right out of the gate, and that hurt the conference against the Big Ten. Texas A&M, they lost to USC as well. Of course, Alabama lost to Michigan. That was referenced there. South Carolina
lost to USC. No, they lost to somebody else. It wasn't USC, was it? I don't think. Yeah, Texas A&M lost to Notre Dame.
Yes,
a very close game at the beginning.
Let me double check that, because I think you're right there with Texas A&M last year. Of course, they opened up with that game against Notre Dame. They lost to South Carolina. Maybe no, they played USC in the bowl game and lost in the bowl game. So
how did they lose to USC at the end of the year?
35-31. Well, I
didn't watch that game.
Yeah, probably. I'm guessing it had a lot to do with. I'm guessing just resting a lot of players and guys getting ready for the draft, and it feels like bowl games are treated so differently in today's college football. But yes, Texas A&M did lose to USC in a bowl game. South Carolina lost to Illinois. That's another bowl game, 21-17. The wins was Texas over Michigan. That was a big regular season win. Alabama over Wisconsin. That was dominant, and that was a road win there for Alabama. LSU down to UCLA, and Missouri 3 points better than Iowa last year. And that was the only under 500 record. In fact, they were not even 500 against that. The SEC was 11-3 last year against the ACC, 5-2 against the Big 12, 3-2 against Independent, 6-1 against the American. The Big Ten, they were under 500 against independent schools. They were 2-4. They were 5-4 against the ACC. 1-2 against the Pac-12 was the mighty Big Ten last year.
I will tell you this: the hats off the Big Ten. Big Ten won the national championship last 2 years. Michigan, that to me has an asterisk beside it because they were cheating the whole time. And then Ohio State paid $30 million and won the national championship. But they're in the Big Ten. So to me, the Big Ten at the top of the Big Ten is a little better than the Southeastern Conference has been, no doubt. Michigan won the year before. They beat Alabama by in overtime.
That's right.
In a game.
And the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, Alabama could have easily won. It's not like same last year with Texas. Texas, in my opinion, should have won that game. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, doesn't matter. But it's not like and nobody can argue the SEC is not the deepest conference. So, but you can argue that the Big Ten has been better than the SEC slightly the last 2 years. Anything whatever. I don't think he deserves with some of the stuff he's just said. Is BS. I mean, it's hyperbole.
There's a couple of dings on the conference that happened last year, and it was Toledo beating Mississippi State, and it was Georgia State beating Vanderbilt. I mean, those two little dings did hurt the conference.
Yeah, but overall.
Oh, no, yeah. If you go by winning percentage, the SEC was the best in the non-conference.
It was close, but the SEC was still the best in Sargent rankings as well.
Yes. The SEC, again, was 63-16 versus non-conference as a whole. Big Ten was 53-16 as a whole. So, but yes, the Big Ten did beat the SEC 6 times in 10 matchups last year.
They were better at the end of the year. There wasn't any question. I mean, the way Illinois handled South Carolina, that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
The way Alabama played was embarrassing because they were obviously played horrible in that game, and just the decision making, just like they didn't show up to me as a whole. They looked like it looked horrible. The last 4 games Alabama played was it last 4 or last 3?
It was definitely the last 3.
Yeah, last 3. They looked horrible.
Yeah. And that does include the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, they had 4 turnovers in that game, and so did Auburn. That's where Alabama was able to win.
Yeah.
If Auburn comes and plays good, that's why I just don't. What's it going to take for Auburn to get there? That's another thing. I'm not sure.
That's a big matchup against Baylor.
Talking to me
right out of the gate.
Yeah, they should win that game, though. I mean, Baylor has been struggling as well. If they don't win that game, I don't think that he'll make it.
Wow, on that game alone.
Yeah, well, because unless he wins the rest of them, then obviously he will make it. But it's not a good sign if he loses that game. If he wins, I can see Auburn being right outside the playoffs. I mean, they just have to play. Their schedule's pretty hard.
I had a higher expectation, at least in my mind, of Hugh Freeze, what he did at Liberty when he took over that job. Maybe I didn't realize how bad Auburn was.
Well, you don't have to play Alabama and Georgia.
And
the top teams in the nation when you're at Liberty. He never even came close to winning the conference when he was at Ole Miss. He beat Alabama twice.
Yeah.
And if Alabama fumbles 2 kickoffs against them, because each of those games, they fumbled 2 kickoffs in that game. You fumble a kickoff, it's like getting a punt block. You're going to lose the game most of the time. You can't fumble kickoffs because of where the proximity to the goal line of the kickoffs are.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's what happened. In both of those games, 2 kickoffs were fumbled, then you had the helmet play where just was a crazy play in that game as well, and one of the victories. So, yeah.
Of course, Jackson Arnold is the expected quarterback, but also Eric Singleton is garnered as one of the top portal gets of the offseason, and Auburn's got him from Georgia Tech. Had almost 800 yards of receiving last year with 56 receptions.
Well, Auburn had good receivers last year.
Yeah, they did.
They just weren't all on the same page. Maybe they'll be on the same page this year, but you still got to.
Cam Coleman's back.
You still got to protect the quarterback.
Yeah. And Jarquez Hunter's gone. So
is the wide receiver.
Keandre Lambert-Smith.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he was really good.
He was a difference maker last year. Maybe Cam Coleman
had Penn State kept him. I mean,
who knows, right?
Well, yeah, we don't know because he was that good. But Auburn right out of the gate at Baylor, then host Ball State, host South Alabama, at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M, host Georgia. That's on October the 11th. Then host Missouri at Arkansas, host Kentucky at Vanderbilt, and then Mercer and Bama down the stretch for the Auburn Tigers. Haven't had a 10-win season since 2017.
Haven't had a winning season in quite some time.
It's maybe Auburn was worse than I thought they were at the end of the Harsin era. Maybe or is this?
Well, your quarterback that was Harsin had ended up being a number 1 draft pick. You know, they should have won. If they win the Mississippi State game, I think that game was the beginning and end for Harsin. Not being able to retain the quarterback, that was surprise. That's real surprising. But you know, I don't know. It's I don't think they have all the pieces this year. I think they have some of the pieces. I think they try to push Cam Coleman on too much. He made a lot of mistakes. A lot of interceptions were deflections off his pads where he wasn't catching it. I think that he'll be better this year. He has a lot of talent. We'll see. Just if they can put it together offensively, defensively, that they probably want the first pick in the draft defensively.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of my friends are saying, that he'll be the first
good.
pick in the draft. Yeah. But I don't think they have it all together in the back end.
Keldrick Falk, who we're speaking of, but Athlon put out, because it is almost time for all the magazines to pop out. So Athlon put out bowl projections for every single bowl, as well as the college football playoffs. But I'm gonna.
Those are so accurate,
aren't they?
You need to.
Yeah, I really wish there was like an archive.
We just fast forward.
I really wish there was an archive of who kind of gets it right the best. But I mean, this is a complete shot in the dark. But that Athlon has Auburn in the Liberty Bowl taking on Kansas. Is that enough?
Oh, I don't. If he goes to a bowl game next year, I think it's enough. But it depends on who he beats and who he doesn't beat, right? I mean, there's
that one game at the end that really matters.
It matters, and it's down there, and they usually do pretty good down there. So, I mean, if he doesn't, it'll be 6 years in a row. In 3 by him, I think he'll unless he's won 8 or 9 games. But if he has a losing season, lose to Alabama again, then.
Also, they have Ole Miss going to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, taking on Georgia Tech.
I'm just saying that would be a disappointment for them.
You think?
Yes. And listen, if Ole Miss is paying everybody and their players, and if they don't make again, they think they should be going to the playoffs, and I agree with them. I think they should be too. The money they're dedicating with Lane Kiffin as their coach, the money they're paying him, they think they should be in the playoffs every year.
Well, just for our guy back at the ranch, they have this is Athlon has Jacksonville State going to the Bahamas Bowl. Can we go cover that? The Bahamas
you need a field
Bowl.
producer for that. You really do.
Yes. Taking on Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, I think if y'all leave now, y'all can make it.
Well, as low as I swim, yeah.
Yeah.
As for the college football playoff, this is how Athlon puts it out. 12 seed Boise taking on 5 seed Ohio State, 11 seed Miami taking on 6 seed Georgia, 10 seed Oregon taking on 7 seed Notre Dame, and 9 seed Alabama travels to 8 seed LSU. So
that'd be awesome.
We might get part 2 of LSU and Bama. Then the 4 seed is Kansas State. They have them taking on 5 seed Ohio State. 3 seed Clemson taking on 6 seed Georgia. 2 seed Penn State taking on 7 seed Notre Dame. And the 1 seed Texas hooked them taking on 8 seed LSU's. And in the semifinals, that they've got they're going through this.
So LSU beats Alabama twice next year.
Clearly. Texas taking on Ohio State, Penn State taking on Georgia, and the semis and your national championship game, according to Athlon, is Texas versus Penn State.
Let me go on the record now. I don't think LSU beats Alabama once, much less twice.
I don't even know if LSU is going to make the playoffs.
Well, that's what
offensive line. We'll talk to the Sausage King here right after our first time out. So let's go ahead and do that. We're live here from Woody Anderson Ford, walking you up to the Braves' ownership of the Mets so far. But, still under 500.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All good things must come to an end. That holds true for employee pricing, too. Hey, folks, it's Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. The last day for employee pricing is going to be July 7th. Up until then, you can buy the new Ford you want and pay what we pay. We've got nearly 150 F-150s to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Had your eye on a Bronco Sport? It's employee priced, and we've got over 60 to choose from. Full-size Bronco, we've got over 40. New shipments of Explorer, Expedition, and Escape have just hit the ground, too. Again, all things must come to an end, and the last day for employee pricing is July 7th. Time to hit it and get it. Employee pricing can save you up to thousands off MSRP. With over 600 Fords to choose from, there's a good chance you'll find exactly what you need. Woody Anderson Ford. It's important to see us before July 7th.
John Abraham here from The Blitz. Look, I love a good party. So why not join me on June 27th at Bobcat of Huntsville as we celebrate their new location on Highway 20 in Madison, right beside Redstone Harley-Davidson. I recently got to check out their massive 13,000 square foot location, and I was amazed. Don't just take my word for it. Come on down to Bobcat of Huntsville and enjoy the day from 10 to 3 p.m. Food, fun, and a whole lot of door prizes will be available. So don't miss out as the Blitz will be live on location June 27th.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's or both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Owens Crossroads, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 326 Sutton Road very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Owens Crossroads.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at WoodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
5 o'clock hour, always brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. In fact, we're inside the showroom. You can check it out over on WZZN TV. You want to check out at least the T-Bird section of the showroom here at Woody Anderson Ford. Wes Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you, and there's plenty to get into. Austin Eckler, OTAs are done in the rearview mirror. This is the final little bit of downtime in the National Football League. Austin Eckler, though, he is excited about playing with the Washington Commanders. Why?
I don't know what it is about, me being around rookie quarterbacks, but, I had, offensive player of the year, Justin Herbert, when he was a rookie, and now I have, rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels now. So I don't know if it's, me being on the team or, but he's definitely exceeded expectations. And I think it's a good thing. Not that I had low expectations for him, but you really don't know. So I think with quarterbacks, you come in, I've just been around long enough to know how much they have on their plate. There's a lot that they have to acclimate to. There's a lot, especially learning a new playbook and, getting into a new organization. It's a league now, and you were second overall pick, a lot of high expectations. So it was like, yeah, I'm expecting you to play well. Now go out and kind of have an MVP caliber type season, and where you're competing in those conversations. Typically, you don't get that from players. That's not something that's often. There's usually a handful of guys that are playing at that caliber and can sustain that all year, and they're typically not rookies. I feel like no, he crushed it last year. What I've seen from him going into this year, we have the same offensive coordinator, and so bringing that into the mix has now made it so now when we go through OTAs. Jay's already on it. Like he's beyond, kind of the rookie mistakes, like learning the playbook, getting the play call out slow. He's getting people lined up. We got new guys coming in. No, Debo, you're not over here. You're on this side. Like when you start to see him kind of orchestrating out there, you can tell there's that growth. He's starting to get more comfortable, which allows him to even play mentally faster.
That is Austin Eckler excited about playing with Jaden Daniels, as he certainly was the talk of the town last year.
He played incredible. I mean, he put so much pressure on defense, and I don't know what he ran the 40 in, but he seems like he's a lot faster during the game.
I just remember Brian Kelly being asked multiple times about Jaden Daniels last year and getting. You remember that?
Well,
yeah.
First of all, I think
right.
All right, I got to talk about this again. Let's talk to the Sausage King of Chicago, shall we? T-Bob Hebert is kind enough to join us. How is the great Windy City up there, Mr. Barstool?
Yo, what's up, boys? It's cool from what I've seen, which is say maybe not too much of it. Been just basically living at the office 24/7 as of late, but yeah, man, it's fun, man. The job is very fun. It's very exciting.
So tell me, so you've done so much. You were a radio host, doing the podcast, doing all this, very active. Talk about what you were doing and what you're doing now, in respect.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess what I was doing, I do the morning show, then I do my college football podcast at noon, and then I start doing that TV show with Jim Rome in the afternoon. Now, my schedule is just kind of a bit all over the place. At least for the next month or so, I'll be filling in every day on this show, Mostly Sports, for Mark Titus as he goes on paternity leave. And so that'll be a good daily thing that you can find me on. But then really I've just been filling in on a lot of different shows. Like tomorrow I'm on the show Macrodosing, and then the Yak. And so it's a weird thing too, where the offices are basically just like a giant reality show. And so you're just in there all day hanging out and cutting up, and there's people filming everything and putting it online. It's a very, very unique workplace. I wasn't sure how it was going to go because, these things can be, they can go either way, or I don't know, it's a lot of people, with main character syndrome, myself chief among them. So I didn't know, is this going to be toxic? Everybody trying to climb over one another, but it's definitely competitive, but it has been super fun. It really is a very fun place to work, and it's very much what probably my favorite part is. It's very creatively encouraging. There are no dumb ideas. They really want you. Now they're not gonna bring you to things. You have to be a self-starter, but they really want you to just try and go make interesting things.
So
that's got T-Bob written all over it right there.
Have you got any? Somehow on my Instagram, a guy that asked questions, and he asked you a question. Of course, you didn't get it right. but I haven't seen many people get it right.
What question?
I don't know. I don't remember
question?
I don't remember the question, but it's a guy that
He just knows he got it wrong.
Yeah.
That is bull. That is BS. You can't say I didn't get the question right. You don't even remember the question. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, all I know is you got it wrong. He said the guy goes, no. He asked you a question.
Yeah, I did get that wrong. You talking about that? Yeah, he does the drop a pin show, and he'll ask you like a random stat. Okay, so for instance, I'll ask y'all, which city has the most millionaires in the world? Most millionaires.
It should be a place like Miami. I'm guessing. I'll say Miami.
Oh, no.
Big West, you're up.
Yeah, I would say it's
no.
It's in the Middle East.
That place that was created.
It's either Riyadh.
Come on, you got to hurry up. You got to answer.
Riyadh or I don't know.
No. So I know Abu Dhabi. A lot of people guess Miami. It's actually New York City.
Really?
It's got like 300,000 millionaires or something.
Really?
Something absolutely absurd, which I guess makes sense if you think about it, right? Real estate and everything being up there. You're going to live.
Right. Yeah. You got to be a millionaire to buy a condo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what he does. He asks questions like that, and then you got to guess. I think I'm 1 for 3, or maybe 0 for 2. I can't remember.
Yeah. So,
no.
So how did your wife take that? Are you moving the family to Chicago? Moving everybody?
We're in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom rental right now with 3 kids.
No.
It's great.
No.
No. I actually was just looking at a house just now. We're trying to find a house. They've actually been on out of town for a little bit to kind of get out, but that comes with no craziness, and she's just having to deal with all that. But it's look, before I ever pitched myself basically to Barstool, we had multiple long talks about, hey, look, like if I send this message and then this process ends with them saying yes, like we cannot say no, because it's an offer that'll never come again. So we had already committed to the idea of being willing to move everyone when the original text was sent many months ago. And so she's, we're making it. It's one of those things where I think it's very tough in the short term, and then in 6 months we're gonna look up and be, very, very happy and very settled.
As long as you get next to a Cajun restaurant, you'll be fine.
I don't know. I mean, look,
right next to it.
Are there any Cajun restaurants up there?
Chicago has some incredible food. I have not tried any Cajun food, but then again, I haven't necessarily had great experiences in the past with Cajun restaurants that exist outside of Louisiana.
Yeah.
But I mean, you want to talk about varied cuisine. They do have food from all over the world. Downtown especially has some really nice restaurants. So it seems like a pretty great food city, and I like all the regional stuff like Chicago dogs. I think it's
Portillo's,
called
right?
I can see that.
Yeah, like Portillo's, all that. Yeah. So it's that's been cool, but no. I will say, and the pizza is infinitely better than what we have in Louisiana. But Louisiana is not a great pizza state.
No.
Anyway.
So you a deep dish guy? Is that what you're telling me? You a deep dish?
No, I've had one slice of deep dish, and it was good. It's a lot. It's I don't know if I even count that as pizza. A lot of the people up here seem to like tavern style and Detroit style. Which Detroit style seems like almost like a pan pizza of sorts.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Well,
and tavern style's square and flatter and crispy, like thin crust almost.
Yeah, y'all probably were required to have your pizza game on up there with the Dave,
with
right?
Portnoy, it's a
Yeah.
with Dave, it's a if you don't answer, you actually take a pizza quiz during the onboarding process, and if you don't score at least a 70, you're not allowed to get the job. So I barely passed.
So you got a 71? Is that what you're telling me? Or?
I got a 72 actually. Good instinct though, Steve. I got a 72.
Yeah.
C for degree, baby. That's what Mom used to say. C for degree.
No.
No.
I saw you quite a bit over there in Omaha, enjoying yourself there. What do you remember from Omaha? Maybe the better question.
Everything. It was amazing, man. What a first time to go to Omaha and get to watch two just. I mean, do you know how crazy it is to win a final 2-0 and to have won that final using 3 pitchers? Like, there were some really heroic performances. And just to get to see, I mean, you know how fleeting it is. The older you get, the more you appreciate things.
Oh, no question. And
seeing a
T-Ball,
national championship live is crazy.
yeah,
And
those
to get to
guys,
see one live is
you
just
guys
something
were,
I'll always never forget.
yeah, the guys y'all were playing too hadn't lost a game.
Yeah,
since
they have
April.
26 in a row, I think.
Yeah, it was, they entered on a 26-game win streak and they left on a losing streak. Pretty brutal.
Here we go.
We owed Coastal for 10 years ago. I was covering the 2016 Super Regional when they came down and took 2 or 3 off LSU en route to winning.
Yeah, they won the whole thing.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, they ended up winning it all that year. So I was at those games. It was sorely disappointing, and well, revenge is a dish best served eventually. And so we got it a decade later.
Nice.
So does LSU make the playoffs this year?
I mean, they should. I think that should absolutely be the expectation levied on them. I think we talked about this last time. Like, if they don't make the playoffs this year, there's no excuse for Brian Kelly. You have the transfer portal, you have the money. First off, you used it well, both in recruiting and the portal. You have the quarterback returning. You have elite weapons. You've really extended yourself paying this defensive staff, and you even got some exciting defensive names for the first time in a while. And then even like your only kind of weakness on paper, maybe going into spring, you felt like was the offensive line, and all the reports seem to be that they're pretty dang pleased with the offensive line play thus far. So it's a weird thing where I don't expect them to even win that first game, but I think they should still make the playoff. And if they don't, then that should if they don't make the playoff this year, I don't think I will ever expect them to make the playoff under Kelly. Like, I could be wrong. I could absolutely be proven wrong. His track record says as much, but there really doesn't feel like there's much reasons as to why, especially because, I mean, look at the rest of the SEC. Who looks like they're going to be really good and for a guarantee? Everybody's got major questions. I mean, Texas would probably lead amongst the pack. Georgia right behind him, but that's more so even because it's just Georgia. Alabama's got major questions. Like everybody else, it's really up in the air. Like LSU probably has the 3rd best roster on paper, and so if you live up to that expectation, well, then you make the playoffs if you're the 3rd best team in the SEC.
Is Nussmeier the best quarterback in the SEC?
I mean, certainly someone like Lagway is very exciting. Obviously, Arch has the potential, though there's probably just way too much expectation being heaped on him for a first-year starter.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's other exciting names. Like, if you think about maybe like Jackson Arnold, Mateer, and maybe Mateer could have a chance. But I mean, Lenoris. Even though I don't know what something like his weapons are yet, I haven't started doing my deep dive yet. I mean, Lagway probably feels like the main contender to that title outside of Nuss, but yeah, I mean, so I guess when it's that close, then you can hold the opinion that yes, he will be the best quarterback in the SEC, and it's not like an out of pocket or homer opinion. Even though I got a lot of crap from LSU fans the other day for saying Cade Klubnik will win the Heisman, but whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, but I
mean, so to me, Nussmeier needs to quit throwing interceptions. I mean, if he throws interceptions like he did last year,
he really had, it was more of a bad stretch of interceptions. And then what I like is after that bad stretch, he really locked it back in for Vandy, Oklahoma, and the bowl game, and seemed to really bounce back. So I'm not overly, and also you were asking us to do everything last year. We talked about this. There's no running game. There was no, like, you were 3rd and 1 and you felt like you had to pass the ball. That's crazy. Crazy. You're asking your quarterback to do way too much. And so hopefully this year with an O-line, with more of an emphasis on the run game, with some of the returners and new faces that you have at running back, like, I think you would hope that Nuss could be not relied upon to make every play. Because in the middle portion of that season, the offense really devolved into just like Nuss, go make it happen.
Yeah. Well, one guy that you did pick up from the transfer portal is someone from our area, and that'd be kind of southern Tennessee area, and that's Berrien Brown. And I keep waiting for his, and I know he had the only kickoff return for a touchdown last year in SEC play. I keep waiting for him to explode, if you know what I'm talking about, T-Bob.
I mean, I don't know what. Is there a story that I'm missing here? The way in which you frame that question leads me to believe that.
No. I mean, I know Bama was on his radar, and he went to Kentucky instead of Alabama.
I didn't know if we had like a Patino situation.
Well, I mean, in
like
this minute-to-minute society, I there could be something going on right now that I don't know about, T-Bob. So
no. So I mean, look, let's be clear. If there's one thing LSU has this year, it's receivers. Between Berrien Brown, Nick Anderson coming in from Oklahoma, Aaron Anderson coming back again this year, Trades Green really coming online last year. Like, the weapons, it is going to be hyper competitive. Chris Hillman's going to be hyper competitive to try to see that field, and whoever does see that field in that regard is going to be very good, in my opinion, because it's a group that is. I mean, is Xavier Thomas back as well? It's going to be a group that has kind of overwhelming talent.
Yeah. So a week from today is perceived to be the changing of the guard, July 1st, now that checks can be cut to players and schools that have opted in for this. I'd love to get your 2 cents on what we've all been following, honestly, since this court ruling has finally been stamped, sealed, at least that portion of it. Not to say there's not lawsuits still going on, but what do you think might be different moving forward covering this sport that we all love?
I mean, okay. Let me try to order my thoughts here.
Okay.
First off, I think that I have to say that I don't really have any idea, because I don't know how anybody could have any idea, because there's so many varied interests all fighting to move the sport in the direction that would benefit them most. I would also say that when you talk about fundamental changes to big systems like this, there are always these very unexpected and unattended kind of ripple effects, right? Like, I don't think that when Brett Kavanaugh originally wrote that letter to the NCAA back in, I think it was 2019, maybe now at this point, and told them that, look, what your entire business model is a fraud. He flat out said it, like it should be illegal, what y'all do. We all thought about it just in terms of paying players, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many of us realized that it would also basically debase any ability that they had to enforce for like eligibility rules. Could we have ever fathomed that the transfer portal would have formed in the way that it did? And yet look at now how major that is to the sport. So I guess what I'm getting at is there are going to be, in this antitrust settlement, there's going to be fallout and ripple effects that I don't even know how to begin to describe because I don't know what they're going to be.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would also say that I am very skeptical about this idea that collectives are going to go away. I'm very skeptical about an enforcement arm's ability to be able to review every NIL deal and make sure that it's above board. And I mean, the base question to me remains, if I'm a rich businessman and I want to pay this kid to send out 2 tweets and I want to say that's $1 million to me, I don't know how they stop that. Money is like water. It finds a way. And so if the lesson learned from last year, what very much was that, look, you need about $25 million of outside funding if you want to put together a roster that's going to compete with all the playoff rosters. Well, I don't buy that that's suddenly going to go away.
Interesting. And
I could be wrong.
No, that's fascinating.
So, you could be right, you could be wrong. I think the SEC is committed to that, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that and we've talked to the. I can see why you would be somewhat skeptical.
Yeah,
but we've talked to the administrators. I think they're going to try to keep it.
Yeah, they're going to try
because they're not going to let you do 2 tweets and get $1 million. That's going to be automatically boom. That's thrown out.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Maybe so. I know. I just, again, I think where lawyers and
there's going to be more lawsuits
and big money people who are using their way and used to winning get involved. It's very hard to stop those guys from getting their way. And then the thing is, when it comes down to it, and it's like, as soon as one guy does it, what's to stop the other guy from doing it?
Yep.
One person finds a way around it. One of my favorite quotes of all time comes from some ancient Roman dude, Velleius Paterculus. It's about precedent. And he says, no man considers a course base for himself, which has proven profitable to others. So if one person finds a loophole, it's not like everybody else is going to sit on their hands out of some sort of morals or ethics or principle. So I guess, again, just count me as a firm skeptic that somehow this is going to solve college football's current volatility.
Wow, I feel like that's stitched on a pillow somewhere in the T-Bob two-bedroom apartment right now. Finally, T-Bob, do you own a good winter coat?
No, I don't have. I've never lived in winter. I grew up in Georgia, grew up in Louisiana.
Yep.
I am a bit terrified of the winter. And the one thing I kept saying was, at least I'll get a white Christmas, only to learn that actually they don't get white Christmas that much anymore.
No.
Apparently, in some
ice
sort
Christmas.
Yeah.
In some sort of cruel twist of fate, winter really kicks it into high gear in like January, the Monday of the year, and then just beats your ass for about till April. So I don't know. I'm just happy that I'll have a cool office to work at.
You got snow last year in Louisiana.
That's right.
Yeah, it was awesome. That really was like the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Steve Bob, I can't thank you enough.
Congratulations, Steve.
Yeah, we're so happy
I tried
for
to
you.
call you several times.
I feel like we've kind of chronicled the life and times of T-Bob on this show. We're now 15. I'm now 15 years on this station, and
that is very true, dude. I need to think about that.
It's been quite the ride there from New Orleans to Baton Rouge up there to Chicago. So it's
yeah.
I'm proud of you, T-Bob.
Thank you, Steve. It means a lot, man. You know I love y'all, and I've been loving
Likewise.
coming on and hanging out for years now. I talked to Tommy Moffitt on the phone not long ago, and he had some very kind things to say about Bonesaw.
Yes.
So shout out to Bonesaw. I hope he's doing well.
Yes,
He's got long flowing locks right now.
Yes, yeah.
So
Bonesaw, he'll
man.
morph. He'll morph on you.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
You'll see him one day and you won't recognize him the next.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm about to spend the week with Bonesaw. Ought to be interesting.
What are y'all doing?
We head into the we go on vacation every 4th of July because that's the only time they get off.
Yeah,
so it'd be the whole all of us.
I'm pumped. We apparently get like the next full week off. So I'm heading down to Toledo Bend, Louisiana, which is where I used to spend 2-3 months every summer growing up. So that's gonna be nice.
Outstanding. Well, keep me up to date on the life and times, and always love having you on, T-Bob. You're the best.
Yeah, sorry about yesterday too, guys. My job is very unsettled right now, so I thought I'd be done, and then like last second I got roped into something, so I apologize for that yesterday. That's on me.
It's why you're the sausage king of Chicago. Abe Froman.
Yes, what Abe Froman. Yeah, Abe Froman, exactly. Great movie.
Hey, real
Great
quick,
movie.
T-Bob, what are they going to do about whiskey and wine?
Oh boy,
I don't know. I don't know what the official word is. I don't know, man. It's because I've obviously thought like, is there something that I could do to try to do it? But like, I can't do it without Matt. The clown and the straight man is a classic dynamic.
Yeah.
Two clowns when it work. It'd be if it was just me or somebody else like me, it'd be just unlistenable. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
So we're not,
I'd watch it once.
So you're telling me we're not going to get?
I'm so fucking sick of this shit, dude.
You saying we're not going to get that anymore?
I mean, you'll probably get that, but maybe not, unfortunately.
Oh, whiskey and wine.
Yeah. I'm sure Barstool's going to do something.
So are you going to do an after show, LSU after show? Up there?
I think if my hope would be that I would be on the college football coverage, which does a more national after show, like after the full day of games. But nothing is set in stone. I just got to try to prove myself and work hard and get in where I fit in.
There you go, brother.
There you go.
Good luck, T-Bob.
Best of luck to you, brother.
Love you, boys. Love
Likewise.
You boys.
Likewise.
Oh, hey,
Wow.
by the way, y'all are going to lose 3 games this season, and I cannot freaking wait.
Oh, wow.
How's it feel?
That's
How's
not what
it feel, dude?
T-Bob.
Are you excited?
You want to bet?
Yeah,
Is this a bet coming?
Yeah. Hey, T-Bob, what you want to bet?
LSU loses 3 games or Alabama loses 3
I
games.
bet Alabama beats LSU.
Ooh.
I mean, that's not saying much, is it? That's like what you do right 90% of the time.
No, y'all got the Heisman Trophy candidate.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said.
I feel a bet. Are you going to bet me or not? Are you just going to talk or are you going to bet?
If you think that Ty Simpson is somehow going to be that guy, then I got a heavy winter coat to sell you. Okay, down there in Alabama.
Well, no, you don't even have a heavy winter coat.
Yeah, we are.
I know that's true. That's
So
true.
then it ought to be easy for you to bet on it. Bet
I
on it.
will have a heavy winter coat to sell you. But yeah. So
I'm losing 3 games.
They're going to beat LSU. That's 100%.
Yeah, but that, I mean, but actually LSU beat Alabama last year, for being honest.
Do what?
Yeah. Because y'all
You did
lost
what? Hey,
Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, and LSU beat the hell out of Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. So if we combine the number of wins, y'all beat us head to head, but we beat y'all by
We didn't beat you. We spanked you and dug a hole and buried you. Is what we did to you in Baton Rouge last year. It's amazing that you think that quarterback that couldn't complete a pass against Alabama last year is going to win anything. I'm serious.
You think
3 losses.
That's more amazing than you trying to tell me that Ty Simpson's going to be better than the player that he couldn't beat out for 3 years? What's more amazing?
2 years.
2.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Details.
Yeah,
Details.
just little details.
Dude, come on. Don't be such a nerd.
I love you, dude.
2 years, dude. Enjoy your 3 losses. Can't wait to watch y'all cry.
Looking forward to getting you back on.
Like that don't even sweat me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Thank you, T-Bob.
Who are y'all gonna hire after you fire Kalen?
Oh, wow. Wow, he's got Alabama firing Kalen DeBoer after this year.
We're going to have to give him a raise to keep LSU from trying to hire him. After this year.
When you lose 3 games, you know, boys, don't be. The fans are going to be out for him.
You know what's so amazing? You're in Chicago, and Alabama's still rent-free in your mind.
Hell yeah, bro. I'll hate Alabama until the day I die. I might throw a little F the Tide on my tombstone. If they allow it. I'll be dead, and Alabama fans will be haunted by me from beyond the grave. I'll get a pass from God or Satan to head up back to the mortal plane.
I hope it's God.
Come on now.
Come on.
Crap.
Hey, all I know is when I'm feeling sad, I just go watch Whiskey and Wine after the game last year.
I'm so fucking sick of this shit, dude.
All you Alabama fans you can't hurt me. You cannot kill that which is already dead.
I would never want to hurt you, T-Ball.
I'm a zombie. And I'm going to keep coming no matter how many bullets you put in me. I'm going to keep coming every year. Get after that ass.
Yeah. Rent free. As I
Thank you, T-Bob.
Thank you.
You're the
The
best.
whole freaking neighborhood. I don't care what. I'm still going to tear it down.
He's still going. Of course he is. That's our guy, T-Bob. You can catch him on Barstool. And it's always fun to talk to you, T-Bob. Let's listen. I know we blew through our last break. There you go. That was the answer I was looking for right there. We will have a Sports Center update. We will have one more segment on the other side.
Things make more sense here, Master Control. It's all right.
I could just get through playing.
I'm so fucking sick of this shit, dude. All Louisiana, everybody just wants us to keep accepting being shit, you know? Why the fuck are you mad? Why are you mad you're last? Why are you mad? Y'all just be happy. You have this, you have that. What do we got? We have sports. Okay, we have sports. That's all we got tonight. So we're on.
And we get to watch the Saints.
Look, I got the Saints who couldn't find their way out of a street corner if they had a gun in GPS. I got the LSU Tigers who just got their
All good things must come to an end. That holds true for employee pricing too. Hey folks, it's Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. The last day for employee pricing is going to be July 7th. Up until then, you can buy the new Ford you want and pay what we pay. We've got nearly 150 F-150s to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Had your eye on a Bronco Sport? It's employee priced, and we've got over 60 to choose from. Full-size Bronco, we've got over 40. New shipments of Explorer, Expedition, and Escape have just hit the ground, too. Again, all things must come to an end, and the last day for employee pricing is July 7th. Time to hit it and get it. Employee pricing can save you up to thousands off MSRP. With over 600 Fords to choose from, there's a good chance you'll find exactly what you need. Woody Anderson Ford. It's important to see us before July 7th.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. But hurry, this offer is only good through June 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Nick DeLuca. The Thunder celebrating their NBA title with a parade today in OKC. NBA turning the page quickly to the offseason. The Celtics, Hawks, and Nets finalizing a 3-team trade to send Kristaps Porzingis and a second-rounder to Atlanta. Terrence Mann and the Hawks' number 22 pick to the Nets. Georges Niang and a second-round pick coming back to the Celtics. Porzingis averaged just under 20 points and 7 rebounds per game this past season on 48% from the field around injury. Niang put up 10 and 3 last season. Elsewhere, the Pelicans looking to shake things up after a disappointing year, making a deal earlier today, trading C.J. McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick to the Wizards for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and the number 40 pick tomorrow night. Wizards get McCollum on an expiring contract. Will have around $100 million in cap space in 2026. He averaged 21 and 4 per game last season. Poole led the Wizards in scoring last year with just over 20 points per game, along with 4.5 assists per night in 68 starts. In the NFL, Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers telling the Pat McAfee show today he's pretty sure 2025 will be his last season in the NFL. 4-time MVP, entering his 21st season in the league, 18 with the Packers, 2 with the Jets. Both those teams on the Steelers' schedule this fall, looking for his first 4,000-yard passing season since 2021, when he won his last MVP, the 4th of his career.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Wednesday, I'll tell you the biggest storyline I'll be paying attention to on draft night. And hint, it's not Cooper Flagg ending up in Dallas. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Back here inside the showroom here at Woody Anderson Ford. We're walking up to Braves baseball. This after we're finding out here in late June that Alabama's a 3-loss team this fall. I mean, what's going on here? I also have some more news to report to you, and that is wife said, go get yourself a zone deal. So I know what that means. It means I need to head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. Click on the big zone deals. And so this is something my wife and I have done here recently. We go through the big zone deals and figure out what we want for dinner. And you've got Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bubby's Diner, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Full Moon Barbecue. We'll be there Thursday, by the way. And magically, Jordy Arman's going to join us on Thursday.
Imagine that.
Yeah. But Cheeseburger Bobby's is also on some big zone deals, as is Bigfoot Little Donuts. That's the way to start the morning. Hickory Store Barbecue and Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, there on the Beltline. But there's also rounds of golf or a Divergence, which is indoors, moms and dads. And so is Flow Trampoline Air Supreme Park. That's indoors as well. So here to save you some money in that regard. But
kids can sweat while you playing, while you are relaxing the air conditioner.
I'm thinking maybe Carrabba's Italian Grill tonight. Maybe. But I mean, it's mine for the picking, and likewise for you. And the more certificates you buy, the better the deal you get in terms of the handling fee there. So
Small handling fee.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it maps out lunches for me, dinners for me and the wife. It just,
half off.
It's big zone deals.
Yeah.
So simple as that. I'm thinking Carrabba's tonight.
We keep Full Moon and Cheeseburger Bobby's loaded up and ready to go at a moment's notice.
Well, Cheeseburger Bobby's was added, I believe, last Friday. So
And they went fast.
And there's at least what I have in front of me says that they're still out there. So I don't know how many. That is one thing I don't know in terms of how many are available. at a given time. But nonetheless, right now, if you scoop them up before I scoop them up, I mean, it just means that you're getting the deals as well. But just know that that is something I partake of quite a bit, is our big zone deals, because you take $25 and you tell me you're going to give me 50 back. I mean, come on. I mean, that's just a no-brainer right there.
It's like putting money in your pocket.
It really is. And they're good forever. I just, in fact, I went through that. As soon as you fill out your information on there, it lists everything that you buy, and you can go through deal after deal, and you can find out what you've used, what you haven't used, and plan accordingly. So there you go. Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bubby's Diner, Carrabba's Italian Grill. I mean, it's all right there. Full Moon Barbecue will be front and center there on Thursday to kind of get everybody prepped and ready for a big week the following week, which is July 4th. And I know a lot of people like to, we're going to lay out that week, by the way. And I've already found a couple of shows. Obviously, the one we did with Coach Fuller and Coach Dye is a staple. But I also found the full show with that we did with Benny Nelson when we had Bobby Bowden call in as well, and went through that list when Coach Bowden was at Howard, otherwise known as Sanford now, in the Birmingham area, and then hearing Benny say, "Was I on the list? Was I on?" It was. Anyway, we'll re-rack quite a few of those conversations, as well as some relevant to this time, including I've replayed it a couple of times, but I've had so many people compliment me on our conversation we had with David Cutcliffe, on the kind of frankness on what Coach Cut said about the SEC scheduling, about everything involving this time that we're all kind of living through following college football. Anyway, that is going to wrap us up here from Woody Anderson Ford. Really appreciate T-Bob Hebert for joining us. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, it's right here at Woody Anderson Ford. They will hook you up. In fact, for a service appointment, they'll come to you. So head over to their website at WoodyAndersonFord.com and click on the service tab, and you can schedule a service call to your house here at Woody Anderson Ford.
And that is the best deal going.
And it's no extra charge.
Doesn't cost you any more money.
Yeah.
It is the best deal going.
So simple as we're here to help.
And you know, my neighbor, her son had that come out, and he had the Woody Anderson come out and service her car. She has told every neighbor in the neighborhood what a good son he is for having Woody Anderson Ford come out here and help her service her car. So you could be that son. You could be that daughter. Woody Anderson Ford mobile service.
There you go. It is time for Braves and Mets. The Braves are 5 games under 500. The Mets are 13 games over 500. But so far, the Braves are 5-0 against the Mets this year. We'll see if that changes tonight. Spencer Strider on the mound, taking on a major league debut for Frankie Montañez. We'll see how that shapes up for the Metropolitans there in Flushing. That'll wrap us up here from Woody Anderson Ford. We will talk to you tomorrow night right here on 97.7 ESPN Zone. So long, everybody.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings